I'm learning how to develop myself, guys. So anyway, since I'm actually learning how to go about life, I'm learning to stay away from cigarettes. I'm learning to walk around and just deal with life, guys. I'm learning to deal with life. I'm learning to become my best version. I'm learning to help myself to have much more ways of life in different ways. I'm learning to develop myself differently, and I'm helping myself to grow. But what can I do? I mean, if I do the free life without the internet, honestly, then it's a 9 to 5 world. And luckily we do have internet these days, so it's a possibility to make money online. But people have to trust me, and at first they never trust me at first. We have to build popularity online. And to build popularity online, you have to do something in real life to do that. Otherwise, honestly, so I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to deliver content. So what I want to do is understand this, and my dad comes home very soon, and he just starts watching soccer, and that's it. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding straight away that I'm learning very quickly about life. I help myself to deliver content, and I help myself to deliver a much greater sense of worth for myself. I help myself to understand something about life. I'm making a improvement in my life, and I'm learning very quickly about loving life. Like, this is temporary, and it's just for the moment. Love I promise you. And I'm learning how over there in Serbia it's going to be something similar. But in Serbia, I'm learning how I have my cousins over there, and now Nenad's going to be working, so he's never going to be with me much. And Nemanja going to be working as well, and he's never going to be with me much. But Tetka's going to be with me, and also she's going to let me free, and she's never going to be with me much either. But she's going to be with me far more than with my cousins. So my cousins are different. So I'm learning how to understand something that I'm going to be trying to go in silence over there. And I'm going to try deliver content with you guys. But I'm learning how different it is. I'm learning how I'm doing different things. I'm learning how I'm just trying to do a better job for myself. I'm learning to develop myself in the process. But my mum is saying over here to get some stuff for Germany, to get some stuff ready for Germany that I need in my life over here. And I'm just going to do that for myself as well. And help myself to deliver content. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning very quickly about life in the process. So I'm helping myself to dwell upon a better life for myself. And I'm learning to live life. I'm learning to live life much better. I'm learning to understand something, that life is coming. I need to be well ahead planning. I need to be well ahead of my life. I need to have health in my life, of course. And I need to understand something about helping myself. That I never want to be smoking cigarettes. So I'm ready to quit cigarettes, and I'm a non-smoker. And I'm learning how I have energy. I have a lot of energy that I pour out into the world. But it's much more how I feel alone. And now, how do I deal with being alone? I just be alone. I mean, do I need anybody with me? I probably should not. I never need anybody to be with me. I understand Jesus Christ. I just need Jesus Christ in my life. I see cigarettes zaps your energy, guys. And it zaps your breathing, and breathing is vital to having energy. I love that. And I was smoking cigarettes out of boredom. I mean, just out of boredom. and I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to deal with life. But no matter how hard you try, guys, you have to work smart. You must understand that. Working smart is much better than working hard. And now poker, I never want to go poker at all. I never want to be going to poker because over there I have no car. I have no car to go to poker, and I never want to get my dad to drive me. I can go with Uber. I can get the Uber to go there. I can go to Mounties on Saturday with an Uber. But what for? I mean, they're never in my life, these people. And I can use the time to myself. I can use the time to being by myself over here and have a much better life over here in the process. But it's more how I feel. I'm much more different. I never ever want to be losing money either. And I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I'm doing is helping myself move forward. So I'm understanding poker starting on Monday as well. So people are going to be all over the place and going out for drinks and stuff like that. But I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be trying to grasp a better life for myself in this state. And I'm learning very quickly about life and interest for being on my own. And I'm learning how to develop my life moving forward. So that's what I'm doing always. I'm always looking for better ways of dealing with my life, and I'm always making sure that I'm learning very quickly about love and interest and developing myself. So you guys have to develop yourselves to be able to understand much more of life. I see nightclubs are opening. I see now to go to a nightclub, I promise you now, nah. I promise you nightlife is over for me. I see festivals, I see nah. I see no more festivals for me. See, I have no time for festivals, guys. I'm learning how I can go to a festival. I can go to a festival, but it has to be something nice and beautiful, like it has to be one of those outdoor festivals that I can go to, such as White Sensation stuff. In terms of White Sensation stuff, type of stuff. So I'm understanding straight away that if I go and do that for myself, I see many people have women around them and they're doing drugs together and it's like they're happy. And I'm understanding straight away how people die at these festivals. I mean, do you understand? I mean, they just die. And I'm learning how nightclubs are for me. And I'm learning how Grant Cardone lived that lifestyle a long time ago. And that's why he's living a great life for himself. And that's why I respect him. I respect his life and the way he moves upon his life, and he's trying his best and you can see it. So for myself over here, I'm understanding straight away life is a movement and I'm doing a better phase of life. I see what else comes to mind. I see swimming pools. I see now I can go. I can go to swimming pools, but it's going to be different for me. I love it. I can go, I can get my dad to drive me to the swimming pools. And it's much more how I feel. I'm learning how veganism is still in my life. I'm a vegan and I'm proud that I'm a vegan. And I'm learning how life is. I understand something. I understand that with life, I understand my debtor. And those are my debtors. Have lived a greater lifestyle than me. Actually now, I'm understanding straight away they've lived more of life than I have. So they understand much more of life and much more wisdom in terms of life. And I'm learning how to just do greater for myself. And I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to improve myself. I have to have a shower. I understand that no matter what, I can see Bojana Gagic, for example, in this girl. I see this girl that I was with, but it never works out with me and her. because I need my mum anyway. So it's either my mum or her. I'd rather have my mum. I understand something that I'm growing myself differently. And I've been through a lot, guys. I've been through a lot, but I'm understanding most people never care. And a little bit that way. I promise you, what they care about is their own life. Of course, because they're still alive. Or if they care about my life enough to never kill me, I won't lie. But I want to be staying away from people. I want to stay away from people as much as I can. And why is that? Partially because I have no time for them. I have no time for them, but I understand something. It's much more how it falls apart anyway. So put in the time and effort into yourself and give all the time and effort for yourself in life so you can have a greater lifestyle for yourself. You know what I mean? And learn how to do that for yourself, guys. I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm opening up a greater deal of life. I'm understanding straight away that my mum lives a different lifestyle, and she's 50. I mean, she's 49 right now. She's turning 50 on April, in terms of April. And time flies quickly. And I'm learning very quickly about life, so I have energy still, and I help myself to applaud myself for quitting smoking, because it's the best thing I can do. And I'm learning very quickly about why I was smoking cigarettes. I'm understanding that if I smoke cigarettes now, I'd have 3 straight away. I promise you. And it's just 15 minutes of my life, I promise you. So that's energy. I promise you, that's 5 minutes of energy per cigarette. I promise you guys must understand that I'm growing myself differently, and I'm learning from the situation. I'm learning from overcoming situations for my life. So I'm learning to help myself to succeed. I'm learning to go ahead and help myself to see what my mum said about me over here. See, my mum wrote me a message. I'm lucky and thankful to have a mama in life. I'm lucky and thankful to have a mum in my life. I see, I'm Danny's mum. I live in Germany. I see, that's my mum who said that. I see on Danny's baptism paper has 3 E in the middle of my name, Lucy E. Mandic. I see, so don't have those in my name. I don't know why they're in there. I see, second of all, my late mother, which was the godmother, asked to christen him as Daniel Mandic, but he's Danny Milivojevic. If it's no problem, Danny has ID. If at the bottom of the list it can be written that he is Danny Milivojevic and birthday, and he's taking his paper. And he's taking this paper as part of many other papers for applying for Croatian citizenship in Zagreb next year, when he will be coming here to Germany to be with me. I see, my name is Lucy Mandic, and I was christened in summer Hill Sveti Ante. Thank you very much. See, anyway, I'm learning very quickly about understanding something about my life over here. So what I'm doing is I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how I'm helping myself to do life better, and I'm helping myself to deliver quality of life for myself over here. I'm helping myself to see something around life. So it's much more how I feel. I'm helping myself to deliver content. I'm helping myself to deliver content of different ways of being, and I'm helping myself to go and listen to music for myself. So I'm learning how to deliver content. So release radar is something that I can do. So I just go and do Armin van Buuren. See straight away, love is gone. See, it's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about love and life, so I need to grow myself. So I'm helping myself to get to Germany, and I'm understanding that my mum's house. I understand straight away that I need to be on my best behaviour, of course, otherwise she'll kick me out. I need to just let her, I just need to agree with her about everything, and that way I'm understanding that I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm learning how to deliver content. I'm helping myself. So I'm learning that Armin van Buuren has music that I like, and he gets straight into the vocals of music right away. And it's much more how it's different, and he makes different music to me, and I'm understanding how. I'm learning very quickly about life, so it's more how it's his business, and that's how it is. I'm learning very quickly about life, so as I grow myself differently, I'm delivering content, so and I'm helping myself. I love life. I understand something that I need to grow myself differently, so it's much more how I feel. So what I want to do is just be able to grow myself. So I'm not saying I never need alcohol, I never drink alcohol, guys. I'm learning very quickly about understanding that I need to put the 1 hour rule into effect. And it's much more how I'm understanding that as soon as clothing stores open up now, I need to go to a clothing store, I need to get myself some clothes. I need to go and try some new clothing over here. And I'm learning very quickly about understanding that it's just something that I'm doing to understand something that I need to go and put new clothing on the way. And I need to understand something that I'm doing a great job for myself with everything, but everything's different now because I've gotten chubbier, and that's because of the medication that the people are giving me, and they believe the medication is the way. So I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is understand that there are many people on the planet, but I'm learning how branding is something new in this world, and I love life. I'm understanding that since there is an internet right now, I'm understanding that people are branding themselves now and trying to become somebody in the brand, and they're either branding themselves without their face or with their face. And I'm learning very quickly about understanding straight away that people are making money, and they're making money on stores and stuff like that. I'm learning how I'm doing great, so I'm doing my life a favour, so I'm doing myself a favour over here. I'm learning how I'm helping myself to do better. I'm learning very quickly about life. So I see, so I need to. I see anyway, so I'm learning very quickly about life. I help myself to do better, so I'm helping myself. I'm learning how I'm doing different aspects of life. I'm learning how to grow, so I'm learning how different life and different ways of thinking is the best in your interest to do better. I'm learning how to understand something that life is different for me. I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm helping myself to deliver content, so I'm helping myself to do better. I'm learning how to do life greater, so what I need to do better is I'm understanding something that I'm learning very quickly about life. But I'm just going to speak out my life into fruition. So I'm understanding my life and my path. I'm learning to become more aware. The more words I give you, the more aware I am. And that's the way it is. I'm learning how to understand something that I'm just learning very quickly about helping myself to love life. So how I feel is the way I understand something that I'm learning very quickly about loving life. So that's much more how I feel. So I'm helping myself. So that's much more how I need to help myself to do better. So much more about life over here. I help myself to do better for myself. So I'm learning very quickly about life, and I help myself to experience a great deal of life within me over here. But I'm learning very quickly about life and what woman wants me if I never have a 9 to 5 job. Actually, it's much more how I can imagine a woman being with me over here. Obviously, it's much more how I can bank a lifestyle, but it's much more how you do it one day at a time. You go out somewhere and you go for a drink, and you stay healthy, of course. And I'm learning I can breathe over here. I see it's much more how I'm learning very quickly about life. But the more you smoke cigarettes, the more you want to kill yourself. I see, I understand that. I learned very quickly about life, but I learned very quickly about helping my heart over here. I learned to help myself grow, and I learned how to understand something about life. I learned how to develop myself moving forward, and I learned how I help myself do better. I'm doing better in my life. I learned how to understand something that I can take out the dog and eat something now. I can understand so I can bring out the dog into the garden over there. And I learned how to understand something now. I'm just developing myself, but I'm learning how to grow, and I'm understanding straight away that with my mum over here, I'm understanding that life is different. And I'm learning how I need to go. I'm learning how to help myself move forward. I'm learning how to develop myself. I'm learning how I can have, and I do have a possibility of having kids. So my dog is scratching itself so much. So, so never scratch an itch. So it's much more how I'll get rashes in between my butt cheeks, and it's because I scratch it so much. And you guys have to understand to never get rashes in between your butt cheeks or anywhere in your life, because you just learn to never scratch yourself. So I learn how I never get angry at how the dog scratches itself. But I'm not saying that it might be anger. I'm saying I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to succeed. I'm learning how to love life. I'm learning to love my life differently, and I help myself to grow. It's time to eat something. I feel anyway. I'm learning to understand something that I help myself to grow. So I help myself in the process of life, delivering content. So what I need to do is grow. See, it's not sure how I feel. Whose track is this anyway? See, it's not sure how they're into this track. I love it. See, it's not sure how I feel. See, anyway, I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I'm doing a great job. And I'm learning very quickly about, I'm understanding something about life now. It's not sure how I feel. So it's not sure how I'm learning. I'm learning how to understand something. And I see Slender and Dylan and Matthew. I'm learning how to go. I'm helping myself grow. So developing my life is the best option. So anyway, what else can I plan? I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to eat something I like. I want to eat ivarg. I want to eat some ivarg. And a little bit away. See, so guys, I'm just over here learning to be a non-smoker again. I smoked 3 cigarettes recently. And what is it about me? I mean, why do I smoke cigarettes? I mean, what's the occasion? I understand I never smoke cigarettes. I'm learning how to grow myself, but I'm going through life alone. And I'm helping myself to deliver content. But I'm learning how I'm in a predicament. I want to make new music. And at the same time, I want to help myself to grow. I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and it's more how I need to grow and help myself to deliver content. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to become somebody. I'm learning how to develop myself, and I have to read more. But going the Jesus Christ lifestyle, I already see what I have to do. And my phases with the Jesus Christ lifestyle is go to my mum and stay at my mum's house, and then return to my dad to bury him. I'm understanding then go to my mum's house long term is the key with Jesus Christ, and then get a 9-to-5 job just like everybody else and make a family for myself and live in Germany is my life. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's very simple. But the phases I'm going through right now with my mum is once I get to my mum's house, I go to my mum's house, I stay for my mum's 50th birthday, I love her. And then it's my birthday, and it's going to be my 30th birthday with my mum. And then go to the Camino, and then Serbia comes around. And I stay 3 months in Serbia, unless I get the Croatian passport. And I'm delivering content along the way. I'm DJing as much as I can, but I need to do better. as a human. And then I have a family, and from my family I understand straight away it's the 9 to 5 lifestyle for me personally, and it's a non-smoker of a lifestyle. I'm understanding straight away that I'm living my life to the fullest, of course, and I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm helping myself to develop myself. But then that's it. Apparently now, if I have no kids in this lifetime, apparently then it's Australia for me. I have to come to Australia and then nursery home eventually. And that's it. I'm looking after myself. I'm making sure I have people look after me for life. And all I have to do is do a great job for myself all alone. I'm helping myself to do a great job for myself. I'm doing better than this woman who is on crutches, and she's never on crutches, but she's using this stool to be walking, and I'm understanding how I can walk. And hopefully I can walk like my dad, but it's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm developing myself along the way. I'm learning to give all my content for free because it's just information processing, and I'm developing my life, and I'm scheduling myself to do 1 hour content per day of video work. I mean, it's a simple life, but I'm developing myself along the way. And how much did I walk today? So let's have a look. 9.4 kilometers, which is 12,000 steps. I do that in my house all day long. But this life is momentary for me, and I'm learning how I need to do synonyms and antonyms, and I can do that now. I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to develop myself especially, and I'm helping myself to learn to grow myself especially. I'm learning how to deal with my life much greater. I'm learning to help myself to do a greater way of life. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning very quickly about life. So it's much more how I feel. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm helping myself to develop much more. And I'm helping myself to understand much more about life. So that's how I feel. I feel I need to grow. But the only way to grow right now is to read more. I have to read more. I'm understanding that it's my dad now. I'm learning how to just let it be. I'm learning to develop myself. I'm helping myself to grow. I'm growing kinder as a human being, and I'm learning how to help myself to love life. So that's how I feel. So it's much more how I need to grow myself. I need to grow the person I am. And that's how I feel. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how to have a life. So now, since my dad's going to be home, I'll just be with him for a bit. I give him silence. I give my dad silence so that I can grow myself differently. And I'm focusing on a better life for myself, of course, so I can do greater for myself. And I've been to Paris. I've seen Paris. I'm a non-smoker, so I'm developing myself moving forward, and that's the whole point. So the whole point is learning to grow, and that's how I feel. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life, and I help myself to deliver content. So that's what I do.
Get Kathy.
So anyway guys, I'm just about to make music over here. I just made 2 techno tracks in 2 days. And I'm learning to grow myself differently, of course. And I'm helping myself to do better for myself. What I want to do is make more music, because I have nothing else to do other than talk to you guys. I'm learning very quickly about life and interest. I'm helping myself to do better. I'm helping myself to make a melody that lasts for 3 minutes. I'm learning to help myself to do a greater job for myself. So what I want to do is just go into my music trend over here, and I want to develop myself over here. So it's much more how I feel. I have all this music to upload online, and what I need to do is open up Photoshop. I see photos, and somehow what I can do is use the video editor and create a new project. And I need to create a new background music, for example. So what I want to do is develop myself to understand how to just go into music trends over here. I'm learning how to develop myself over here, and I'm helping myself to do a great job for myself. So what I want to do is delete all this content that I made, and I want to upload Ophelia online. And I open up Ophelia, and I want to start a new basic limiter. I want to make a new track. But life can get boring, guys, if you're not producing content. So what I want to do is see the different sounds. I want to open sine length. I'm helping myself to develop content. So what I want to do is develop myself differently, and I just open up different ways of life over here. So snap, and I want to go step file. But first I want to learn something. I want to just play around. Let's see. I'm learning how to develop myself. I'm learning how to just develop myself differently. And I'm just doing anything, guys. I'm just doing a great job for myself. So what I want to do is step back up a notch, and I want to learn how to grow myself differently. And I'm helping myself to understand something that I'm learning a bit more about life now. I'm learning how to quantize. I'm learning how to just develop myself over here. So I'm developing myself in a better manner. So it's something that I want to listen to. So I'm helping myself to just see what's going on over here. See, that's nice. I'm learning how to just play around with swords and stuff. I'm learning. I'm growing myself in the best manner that I can. So what I want to do is help myself to understand something that, since I'm understanding something, I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to do a great job for myself. So I'm learning how to help myself grow, and I'm helping myself to develop key orchestrations of life. And I'm helping myself to just develop. I'm developing myself. So what I need to do is grow, and I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand to upload content online. But let's have a look at what else. I'm helping myself to just see what I can do. I'm doing something different over here. So that's nice. I'm learning that I need to create a melody. And what I want to do is create a different melody. And I'll do it with FL keys. And now, what I'm doing is creating a progressive track. I see now. I'm learning quickly. I'm learning to just do a great job for myself. So let's have a look. I'm learning how to develop. So it's much more how I feel that I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm just understanding something. I'm understanding that life is different for me now. I see the. So it's much more how I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to create something for myself over here. So it's much more how I need to go and develop myself in different ways. But what I want to do is develop. So that's something that I can do. And it's more how I feel. See, it's much more how I feel. I see if I progress this sound, and then over the top somehow. I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I help myself to do a great job for myself. I see, it's much more how I feel, so. See, it's much more how, that's nice. I'm learning very quickly about just playing around with FL Studio, or I just want to play around. See, that's nice. What I can do over here is outperform myself, but it seems like a nice and beautiful melody, and somehow I can I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I'm learning that people never listen to me and they never really want to grow with me, but they do as well. I see, it's much more how this is a techno music track. See, techno music track over here. See, that's nice. I see, it's more how I'm just learning how to do different life over here. I see, it's more how I need to grow. I see, it's much more the levels over here. And I'm doing different stuff over here. So these 3 semitones. I see show and I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I'm learning how to go. I'm helping myself to do better. See see, it's something that people can listen to at the moment, but I'm learning very quickly about developing myself. I'm learning how to just grow myself differently. And you can save presets as well on Silent in terms of the presets with the Serum. So that's nice. But I need to create a melody. See, a melody that really lasts for the whole track. And what I need to do is progress the melody, and I need to create a melody. So what I do is I go and progress this melody forward, but I need to create a pattern. See, now if I go and do this, for example, I go and place my melody over here, and I hope for the best. I can grow myself differently, so it's much more how I'm learning, but it's much more how I need to go and help myself grow. I want to play with sounds. I want to play with different sounds. So what I do is I just go back to this previous sound. I'm looking to develop myself, so it's more how I'm growing myself, and I'm feeling that I need to improve. I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm helping myself to develop myself properly. I'm doing anything really, but where do you find the inspiration? See, it's in the music, isn't it? So that's nice. So there's a potential for a track move track. I see now if I create an energy music track, I'm learning very quickly about life. That life is different for me personally, and I'm learning to read. I'm learning to do life greater. So what I want to do is just create my music track. I'm developing myself over here. So that's it. I grow myself differently. I help myself to improve. See, it's much more how I feel. No matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So it's much more how I need to grow myself properly, and I'm helping myself to understand something that I feel down on my luck, but I'm not down on my luck, and I'm lucky. I never feel down. I feel that no matter what, I'm just over here doing my own life in accordance to what I need to do. I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to improve. See, dun, 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 dun. I feel I need to grow, but the best way I can grow is to be doing something to correspond to my legacy. I mean, all I can do is improve my legacy, and that's it. I promise you. I have inspiration coming from I I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm helping myself to improve. I'm learning very quickly about just dwelling upon life much greater. I need to develop myself. I need to develop myself and my being. So life is passing me by. But what else can you do? I understand straight away I'm improving my legacy over here. So it's much more how I feel. I need to improve who I am as a human being. So it's much more how I need to grow. And I feel that no matter what, I can see straight away of people's lives and how people are. So what I'm doing over here is growing myself. But it's more how I feel. I feel you have to produce content and you have to upload content. So you have to upload something constantly online and you have to be consistent with that. And you have to grow yourself differently, and it's the only way forward. But no matter what, I feel like dwelling upon myself over here to do greater. I want to be healthy, of course, and I want to grow myself. So it's more how I feel moving forward. It's a Saturday. I'm understanding people have friends, and I have no friends except I. But isolation is what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of isolation these days. I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm helping myself to develop. But it's more how I need to grow my music skills. And the only way I can grow is to read more. I mean, just always producing music to the best way you can. And learning how I'm improving myself along the way. And I'm learning very quickly about life. But the more you produce music, the better you get. And it's just how it is. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand something that I'm developing myself and my talent as a professional speaker and a lover. So what I want to do is just grow myself. I mean, it's all I can do. And that's it. I feel anyway, I'm growing myself to the best way I can. And what I want to do is help myself to improve. So what I'm doing is growing myself, but I never want to play poker. I see with music, I just want to let it be for now. I see with online tendencies, I realize I can upload content online. I can read something, of course. And I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to improve. I see life is passing me by. A lot. I'm learning how I never had over $4,000 in my pocket in terms of life. I never had that amount of money in my life. I understand I did have that money in terms of I spent it, in terms of I never spent it, I invested it in different places, but I'm learning very quickly about understanding to do better for myself, of course. I'm learning how to grow myself, and I'm doing a great job for myself. So I just need to do better. I need to just be much more than I am. I see how people are not watching me much because they never find me interesting. And it's more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly how people can find me online and you can find me, but it's more how I care about myself. I care to grow myself, and I'm learning very quickly about developing my wisdom for life. I understand how alcohol tastes, and I'm learning how I've been alcohol free for about 3 years, and it's been longer than that. I'm learning how to just grow. I understand that Avicii died at 28 years of age. I'm understanding straight away that it's just the alcohol that killed him. But I'm understanding that is more enough to kill somebody. I'm never killing somebody. I'm never going to kill somebody. But I'm understanding that it's much more how you have to live life. And you have to grow yourself differently, and you have to find attraction for different ways of being. But I'm understanding the pressure of becoming somebody in life. I'm understanding you have to be at your best performance. You have to be at your best to deliver content that's actually worthwhile. So I'm learning very quickly about developing myself. So what I want to do is grow, and I want to grow myself, and help myself to improve my life. I'm understanding that alcohol and drugs, and alcohol is a drug, but I'm understanding that way of life. I'm understanding what that is in life, and you have to grow differently, and you have to help yourself to improve, and that's it. First, you must grow yourself. I feel like listening to music, but at the same time I feel like growing. I'm understanding how my life is going. I never have a craving for alcohol at all. I'm never craving physically alcohol. I'm learning how I'm doing a great job for myself. I need to do a better job. I need to see my life. I see if a woman seen my life, I promise you, I believe that she would run away. I love her. And why is that? I promise you it's because of my bank balance. It's because of how I run my life. But if I have a 9 to 5 job, then if I just have a car for myself as well, and I gather some friends around me, then it's all possible to have a girlfriend. And I'm understanding how you can go into communities of people to dance and to do whatever you're doing, but I understand how it feels to go around communities and dancing and stuff like that. I see how I need to go and grow myself. So what I want to do is help myself to improve. So it's more how I'm understanding something. I'm understanding life. I'm understanding that I'm growing myself. I love I. I see this too shall pass. I love I have to live my life to the best of my ability. So what does Jesus Christ do in this situation now? I love I. What if Jesus Christ goes and works for God? What if Jesus Christ tries to develop himself? I'm understanding straight away how I feel. That alcohol breeds the diabetes, and cancer comes from alcohol and cigarettes. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding straight away how I feel about life. And it's more how I feel. I need to go and grow myself. So, reading. I should read all day long, something to deliver mindset work and read. I'm doing much better than people who are in prison. I'm doing much better than them. I'm understanding how stuck they feel in life. I have compassion. I have compassion for everybody. And I'm learning very quickly about understanding how life is. But you have to learn and you have to grow and you have to produce something in life, and you have to be a producer and distributor, and you have to outgrow yourself. But the best way to grow is to follow Jesus Christ. I'm following Jesus Christ now, so all I can do now is live my life. So Jesus Christ restores health to everybody. And you have to understand straight away that it's much more how it is. And because Jesus Christ came here, I understand there is God. There is a better world than this. And there is something greater coming. And it's a better age. I'm learning to read. So what I want to read, I have to read something on the lie. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand something. I need to go and grow myself. I need to help myself to grow. I'm definitely improving myself along the way. And it's hot. See, it's hot outside. See, it's much more how it is. So I'm developing myself. See, it's been a while since I've been talking to women online, but they've been running away from me. I'll let it be that way. And I feel my life over here. I'm feeling the trend of my life. I'm feeling different. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to grow and outgrow myself and help myself to improve. So that's how I feel. So anyway guys, I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I'm understanding that life is different for me. I just smoked around 10 cigarettes today. I'm learning how to grow myself. I'm a non-smoker. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm ready to do better throughout my life. So what I want to do is develop myself to do better for myself. So that's how I feel. And I feel different. So anyway, so what I want to do is just grow myself differently, and I want to help myself to do better. So I find myself in my house, locked up in my house in terms of my words, but I can never be locked up in my words. I see nobody can lock myself. I see nobody can lock me up in my words. I'm learning how to develop on a growing life for myself. I'm helping myself to improve. So I find myself asthmatic through life, and it's because I was smoking cigarettes, but I've been having a tough time breathing while sleeping. So it's more how I feel. And I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm not asthmatic, but I'm breathing better than ever before. And I'm learning to develop myself moving forward. And it's about getting around people who matter to you and learning very quickly about life. So for myself, I moved away from the Serbian community over here in Australia because they're never in my life and they never talk to me and I never need them at all. And that's it. I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is develop my attitude, and I'm feeling myself doing better throughout life. So what I want to do is develop myself to do better for myself, and I'm finding a greater deal through life. So it's more how I feel, and I'm feeling a great life for myself is coming. I'm learning that this too shall pass, and then once I get to my mum's house, I'm learning to just grow myself with her. I'm learning to develop myself as a human, and I'm helping myself to do better. So what I want to do is just grow myself. I'm understanding straight away how people are trying to make a legacy for themselves in this life, and I'm learning very quickly about developing my courage for success, and I'm learning how to grow. I'm learning how to grow myself. So that's how I feel, and how I feel is much more different now than ever before. I'm learning to have the best time for myself and help myself to understand straight away how it is growing up as a human in this lifetime. I'm helping myself to develop myself, especially. I'm learning to outgrow myself differently, and I'm finding a great time for myself. I'm trying to find something to do that helps me move forward, but that's reading. I need to read, I need to grow, I need to indulge in content, I need to content create. I have to be a content creator. I find myself doing better than Serbian people here in some ways, and I find that they are doing better than me in some ways as well. I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is grow myself differently, and I definitely want to help myself to improve my life. So it's more how I feel. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm helping myself to deliver content. So what I want to do is have the best time for myself, and I want to develop freedom and courage to succeed differently, and I'm learning very quickly about learning about my words, and I'm helping myself to deliver content. So all I need to do is understand straight away that I'm learning how to grow myself. I'm learning to understand straight away that I'm never wrong nor right, but I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm helping myself while at it. I'm helping myself to grow. I'm understanding straight away that I'm alone in life, and I'm helping myself to deliver content. that's worth noting. I mean, it's just that kind of day, isn't it? I'm learning very quickly about life and I'm helping myself to develop myself. But I'm not ready to die. Even though I'm aging into a better human being, I'm learning very quickly about understanding I'm a non-smoker, and developing my life is very different. So I'm just walking around and helping myself to succeed. So what I need to do is grow myself differently, and I need to find much more ambiguous ways of thinking for myself. I'm learning very quickly about life. So it's more how I feel. I never feel poisonous, but I feel that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about understanding something around life. That if I have some alcohol now, I feel that it's better for me to never have some alcohol right now. And I'm learning very quickly about understanding that it's more how I feel. I can finish it up quickly. I love it. I'm understanding straight away that I know I never want to finish it up quickly. I want to finish it up better. See, it's much more how I feel. I feel different.